I've heard nothing but terrible things, and I don't even want to be mean to this card because I actually I have a controversial opinion, and it's a bad card whenever I'm about to say something positive and it's a controversial opinion. The main event will probably be a fun fight. Jessica whenever she has somebody who's willing to kind of move in and trade with her, and Chick Diaz, Cynthia Calvillo, I love that girl, bro. She's never been in a boring fight in the UFC. All of her fights are either finishes or they're really, really close fights. She beat Joan Carlo in a really close fight, choked out Pearl Gonzalez, choked out Amanda Cooper, choked out Poliana Botello, beat Courtney Casey. And now she's moving up to flyweight because she had trouble making strawweight. And Jessica I is kind of a weird one because none of her flyweight fights have been that interesting, but her fights, whenever somebody's willing to come at her and kind of come in and trade with her in the pocket, they could be fun fights. Betch Correia, she had a good fight with. Miesha Tate, she had a good fight with. Leslie Smith fight was awesome. So she's had good fights throughout her career. But say this card's been shit on, would be putting it incredibly mildly. I like some of the fights on the main card, but we could just move to predictions. Who do you got in the 5-round main event? Jessica Eye, Cynthia Calvillo.
Something I'm gonna pick my girl Jessica Eye out here. I have faith in her. I'm actually gonna have faith in her.
Really, that's actually, I'm pretty sure she's the heavy favorite. I don't know the actual betting odds, but I'm 99% sure she's the favorite. So, I mean, you got faith. I got to roll with my girl Chick Diaz. If the fact that that's not her nickname is pretty disappointing, because she's pretty much like a mini Nick Diaz, even down to getting popped for weed like 3 times.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just her fighting style. She's always coming forward. She never gasses. She thinks she wins all of her fights by decision. Like anytime there's a close decision, she thinks that she won, even if she didn't.
The hood knows I won that. The hood knows they won that.
The hood knows I won that fight. The hood knows. Adrian, you're 4-5 in your last 9 fights. Well, I'd be 9-0 against you.
What a guy.
I love that, man. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go Calvillo here. I think just her grappling is significantly better. I think she might just win on pressure alone. Jessica Eye is kind of shown to be in her recent fights be kind of a bit more hesitant. She's kind of the second one to throw off a punch. She's kind of more on the back foot. I think Calvillo is going to take advantage of that. I think the smaller octagon is going to help her when it comes to the grappling. Calvillo is probably going to be the lot smaller fighter. Jessica Eye used to fight at bantamweight. But also, Calvillo, she's a very strong grappler. And I'm going to take her via probably decision. I think no matter what, this fight will go to a decision. And then the co-main event, Carl Robertson, Marvin Vettori, both guys kind of on the edge of the top 15. This one has a lot of heat behind it. Starvin' Marvin is starving for a fight, my man. This guy has been waiting for a fight forever. He's most known, honestly, in the UFC for taking Israel Adesanya to a split decision. But he last fought Andrew Sanchez in 2019. He's been sitting on the shelf since then, man. Like I don't know all of his fights. Let me just check real quick. Like he was supposed to fight Darren Stewart in March, but that fight was canceled because of COVID. Supposed to fight Carl Robertson in April, except that fight got postponed because of ESPN canceling those fights. He's supposed to fight him last month. But Robertson missed weight and then was pulled due to kidney issues, and now that fight got scheduled again, and that's where we're at right now. Marvin Vettori, Carl Robertson coming off 2 straight wins, Vettori coming off 2 straight wins after his split decision loss to Israel Adesanya. I think I'm gonna take Marvin Vettori here, man. I think that kid's hungry. I think he's young. I think he wants to get into the rankings. I think he should be ranked already. He's faking guy Carl Robertson. I like Carl Robertson. He has heavy hands, but I don't know if he'll be able to beat him. And I don't know if that'll be enough against Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori's got heavy hands and he's got the submission abilities. I'm gonna take Marvin Vettori here in the co-main. What do you got?
I'm also taking Marvin Vettori. I don't believe this, but some people call him the Izzy Kryptonite. You know that?
Wait. Who's ever said this?
You can look it up, bro. Some people, if you Google Marvin Vettori, a lot of videos will pop up that say the Izzy Kryptonite. I'm not saying I believe it, but we're going with the Izzy Kryptonite on this fight card.
All right, we're going with the Izzy Kryptonite. I mean, that was a controversial decision because I know some people thought Marvin Vettori didn't do much to get the split decision. But if I remember correctly, it's been 2 or 3 years since this fight happened, so forgive my memory. But if I remember correctly, it was like Israel won the first round. The second round was close, and the third round Marvin dominated him. I remember Marvin took him down and beat the shit out of a young Izzy on the ground. So yeah, I had no problem with the split decision at the time. I didn't think he won the fight, but I could see why they came to that conclusion. So I think that fight will be fun if he can get back to the top. He's still a really, really young kid. He's got the skills to pay the bills. Only loss in UFC was to Izzy, and I think he also lost to Antonio Carlos Jr. in his first fight. But even then, at the time, Antonio Carlos Jr. was on a bit of a run, so it wasn't very surprising. But I think he wins that fight if they fight again. Is there anything on the rest of the card that you like? Because I know there's a lot of fights that I think are going to be bangers, but there's not a whole lot of star power.
Personally, nothing I would like to highlight.
Well, that's disappointing. So I'll do it for you. Let me talk about.
Oh, what a guy.
Let me talk about all these fights. All right, Andre Feely, Jourdain. Charles Jourdain's coming off the knockout over Doo Ho Choi, and it's been a while since he's been out. But that kid loves to swing and bang. Andre Feely, he's a long, lanky guy, and right now, Andre Feely's looking like the best he has in his UFC career. I don't know if he's ranked, but he should be. He beat Miles Jury. Actually, well, real quick, he beat Artem Lobov. He beat Dennis Bermudez. Lost a close decision to Michael Johnson that I thought he won, and then he beat Miles Jury. He knocked out Shimon Moraes, and then he fought Sadiq Youssef in a fight that was close, and I remember thinking that he might have won. Like, that fight was super, super close. He's looking great right now. And then Charles Jourdain loves to swing and bang. Merab, oh my god, I hate pronouncing this kid's name. Merab Devilishi is on a 3-fight winning streak. And his fight against Casey Kenny, he looked like a mini Habib. He's trained by Ray Longo and Matt Serra. Young dude, he's only 29. And he's looked great in his last 3 fights, tearing on Ware, Brad Catone, and Casey Kenny. And he's taking on Ray Borg. Ray Borg making a quick turnaround. He fought last month. Now he's going to fight this month. I'm going to take Merab to win that fight. I think that fight's going to be awesome. I think some of the grappling exchanges that one are going to be absolutely great. Charles Rosa, Kevin Aguilar should be a lot of fun. Real quick, I want to highlight, where is it? I want to highlight my girl, Maria Agapova. Maria Agapova, Invicta fighter, 9-1. She is extremely entertaining, man. I've seen all of her fights in Invicta. I think she went 3-0 in the promotion. I know she fought in the Contender Series, and I think she won the fight but didn't get the contract. She's in the UFC now. She's taking on Hannah Cifers. Hannah Cifers, I think, fought 2 weeks ago against Mackenzie Dern. I'm going to take Agapova to win that fight, bro. I'm very high on this girl. She's very young. She has great Muay Thai. She has good submission abilities. So yeah, man, I'm going to shout her out. Shout out a couple fights on that card. But that's all we got for the UFC.